Now, by looking at your model, I mean, logically, this is a 20-story building. So 20-story building, normally we don't use footing, cannot be used. Why? Footing is for those building maybe up to 3-story or less, not 4. If got higher, it must be pile cap. But because if this model you go to add pile cap, what happen is your file going to be very big. All right. So for this scenario, and because you are doing Zoom, I don't want you guys to see later my video become very laggy. That means in the Zoom itself, because file is getting bigger. So I'm going to use the footing for that. By right, should not be building. I mean, be footing. It should be parquet and pile. Okay, for your real world practice. But here, I just want to follow this. So this footing they want is 800 by 800 by 300 thickness. So I'm going to minimize this at our foundation. Where can I get the footing? Structure. Footing is under foundation panel. So it's also under isolate. All right, click isolate. You should see default. They preloaded 2 footing for us. 1008 by 1002, 450, and the other 2004. But what we need now is only 800 by 800 by 300. So, okay. And sometime why they use footing could be that place very stable. No earthquake, no nothing, no tornado, no nothing. These are all ideal cases. So you no need to worry that it collapse. Okay. So how to create that footing we want? 800 by 800 by 300. Okay. Oops. Go to edit type. Now, edit type is where you are creating the new type of family. So this is what you call category. All right. Family and types are together normally. There's only one meantime. So from here, and if you see loadable, meaning what? This is loadable family. If you see this gray off, that means the word here should be called system family. But meantime, this is loadable family. That means can be load from where? Structure. So structure foundation is here. You see from here. This is how it look like. So this is what I mean by pile cap with a pile. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So you can see from here. The rest is sometimes you want to create a custom pile, which is something like this. This is normally for 3 or some object. And I will say that it could be some common use. So 2020, they give you something extra. You have a sleeve foundation and a cup foundation. Means all precast. I mean pre-shape the thing. And the pile itself, you can see there's a steel pipe and H-beam or I-beam you call it. Okay. Some is they bore, then they put in the rebar, then they pour cement. That is the cast in place. But nowadays, I think they use this quite often. I think in BCA, they are using pipe, if not wrong. The steel pipe one. The new building that they are building now. The D&E. I think so. Because you see a lot of pipe at this site when you go to high floor. Okay, so we are not going to use anything because due to the size of the model that you're going to build, it's going to be very heavy. All right, so I'm going to take existing and modify. So I just rename. I want this to be changed to 800 times 800 times 300. Yep. So thickness 300, width 800, and length 800. Okay. All good. Apply. Okay. Now, before you insert, all right, you may want to insert one first, or normally when you insert, it should be in the center of the grid. But if you're going to pick one by one to insert, it's going to be very slow. So in structure, when you get column, beam, or footing, power cap, you notice the command, they always have a grid at column. Meaning what? The component that you're going to insert can be at a column. But meantime, I don't have a column here. I only have grid line. So instead of also grid line, you got to pick one by one. The fastest way is select at grid. At grid, then go to top left. Sorry, this is top right. Left click, hold, drag. Make sure all grid selected. The moment you let go, you see they insert the footing for you. And to finish it, you must click the finish button. And now they are done. You can click cancel away. All right. So let me close those views that not required. I only want maybe east or west view and one new one, 3D view. Select from the house. You see, that's my 3D structure. So let's say I rename this as my 3D view. Okay, WT, you should see that all your models are there and your footing are correctly in place. Okay, so this is the first step you need to do for construction method. Questions? Oh, good. Hopefully, majority of you are not sleeping. All super quiet. This is only lesson 2. Good morning. Good. What is 1? Jinan.
It means I'm here.
Oh, thank you. Any questions? Give me a minute. Okay. Right. Can I continue? Let's look at one view at a time. In your 3D view, let's say I maximize by typing TW. When you are using Revit 2019-2020, you see that your level in your plan, how you extend to get them joined. You can see that you can select from here and adjust. This is how you adjust the grid. And when you go to your elevation, you can see your level line will also expand or extend. All right. But sometimes I'm just doing a model. This is good for doing conceptual model. But meantime, if your model start to take place, all this can be very annoying because it's blocking your view. And you can see that the moment how you orbit, they auto adjust, which is, I don't feel like doing that. Okay. So in other words, I want to make this disappear. You go to your visibility setting, VG, type VG, or under properties, visibility oblique graphic, this button here, edit, is the same. So under the annotation category, you scroll down, look for level. See, the level is here. Uncheck it, apply, okay, now it's gone. So what I want not to see wireframe, it should see them in shaded or consistent color. Okay, shaded means there is some dark faces. That means it's telling you there's a sun casting at one direction. But if you are doing conceptual, meantime, I want the set it as consistent color, which is lights are everywhere. So you won't miss out anything. See, every components are nicely brightened, irregardless how you orbit. See that? There's no dark face at all. Okay. So foundation, our plan. Normally the view here should be detailed. Remember, not this, should be fine. All right. Especially if you have concrete and steel together. If all pure concrete, it's okay to set coarse, medium, or fine. But later part, maybe not this exercise, I mean your assignment 2, you might need to draw some steel structure. Then you need to make sure that the fine detail level must be set. Okay. And the view by default is always set it as hidden, not wireframe. Also same for Archi, cannot be wireframe, must be hidden. Unless you are checking view or overlapping. If not, should be hidden. Elevations wise is only to make sure that when you add in your parquet or footing, all these are nicely sit on the correct level. Questions? Anyone? If don't have, I'll continue. Now, for instance, I want to make some changes like what you see in your model here. See, some got different length, but I want to do some slight change to add in some parquet and POW. How do we swap? Some students asked me last time, Cher, why you need to insert all? Because some places might not need. If you think carefully, by selecting this way is faster to insert. Then those area that's not required, you can select them and erase away. But if I'm going to pick one by one, it's going to be time consuming. This method, no matter what, is still faster. Always understand, model correctly. Okay, important. In Revit, 2 rules. When you need to model, you model. Don't often click undo. Model wrongly, never mind. We can swap. For instance, now, let's say this particular part of this footing here, the middle one, I want to change to a different one. Notice when I select them, my properties type selector highlighted. If I have loaded PowerCap here, I can simply do the swap. Unless not required, you delete away. Don't try to click or press undo, especially structure. Your files are getting heavier and heavier. All right, so we got to understand all this. Okay, okay, so later I'll change. Now, the next one that we're going to do is to add this column here. That means this column going to connect from foundation to first story. And this is 1.5 meter. And the column size. Anything mentioned on the column size? Take a look. They only mention column first to okay. This is column, but the column size create 1 to 5 is 800 by 800. But they never mention what do you call it? The foundation to first story. See, you know, nothing mentioned here. Don't have, huh? If don't have, I presume it's the same. Okay. And as you know, later on, if you create from 5 to 6 story, see, this guy still says 800. I would like to do some adjustment. All right. Because for construction wise, if your model start to get higher or you build, your column size should be reduced from time to time. Of course, also depends on the loading. All right. Yeah, it cannot be, it's impossible to so-called same thickness, same size, you know, all the way up. It can be done, but wastage material because your load getting heavier and heavier when it goes higher. Gravity pull is one thing. All right, so we'll change later on. But meantime, foundation to fifth story, we leave it as 800 by 800. Okay. Yep, as it says here. So good. Edgar, you're right. Thank you. So from here in our plan, TW, since I'm creating from foundation to first story, you guys got to be careful when you get the column. Now, column, not from here. This is your foundation. If there's a basement, you need to have this wall at the surrounding of your building. All right. So this wall is only for foundation wall when there's basement, or in other words, underground. This one here is for your basement slab, especially the last level. Maybe they have B1, B2, B3. The lowest one, this is your foundation slab, not your normal floor slab. Normal floor slab is not this. This is reinforced, it's different. Okay. So now column is here, column, and here they have hollow concrete. We want this. All right. So if you want this, you go to edit type and we want 800 by 800. Choose the family, make sure it's concrete rectangular. And from here, since it's loadable, I'll make full use of what is have here. All right. Don't go and look for something, say, hey, I want exactly 800 by 800. No. Make use of whatever you have. I'll rename because all these, if you don't reuse, end of the day, all these are rubbish. Like AutoCAD, you got to purge away. So no point add rubbish inside when not needed. Okay, make use of whatever you have. Unless it's system, then no choice because that's the only base we have. Then we will duplicate. If not, I will make full use of the existing one you have. So I'm going to change 800 by 800. When done, remember one thing, before you select. Look at the command. This is to place the tagging. This is to place at a column. This one, there's no column at all, so nothing to place. You can just simply snap. But before you snap it, observe, make sure it's vertical. Because vertical, you see this arrangement under your option bar. If you suddenly go to slant, you notice that it's different. So don't panic. This is important. Okay, make sure it's vertical. Second, look at the option. Structure the setting, always go by depth. Meaning what? Now I'm creating from foundation. Go that means you are pushing your footing even lower, which is wrong. My footings is already at foundation level. First story is here. This 1.5 meter is what in between. So in other words, if you are creating from foundation connecting to first story, this must set to height. All right. Remember that. If you are creating from first story to foundation, then you set this to depth. So you got to be clear. Every time add a column, add a beam. All right. And third one, add a wall. These three things always must observe. Check your height or depth. Depends on which level that you wish to draw your component or to add your component. Okay. Since now I'm at foundation 1, it should be height. And I want this to connect it to first story. So the auto compute for me. Now add grid. Select everyone and finish it. Cancel command away. Double check all view. WT. Make sure that all connections are correct. How come so weird one? See our model. Something wrong or not? Footing 800. See it now. So different. I think there's some error here, right? Look at the shape of the footing. Something is not right. You notice? I think there's something wrong here. This note there's something wrong. The footing is not correct. Your 3D view cannot see anything. Zoom extender. ZE. Something is wrong on this. If your footing and your column same size, it look like this, right? This building will start to sink. It doesn't create a stopping because they don't base at all. So something is very wrong. Okay. So that this tutorial, no logic at all. See this? It should not be 800 by 800. And yet our column size is already 800. Oh my goodness. So how? Wrong, huh? We're going to change. But before that, Yu Kai, yours okay or not? Your view can see now? Yu Kai? If I select, I can see the blue point. What do you mean by blue point? Oh, all these, when you add it in, did you check the green tick when it's done? Finish. Or you want to share your screen and show it to me? If okay, then I will stop sharing.
My computer cannot connect the Zoom. I only use phone, use VPN. I'm in China now.
Oh, so you cannot, you are, oh, okay. That means you see your 3D view cannot see anything. Do you do a zoom extend?
I don't know how to do.
Huh? Zoom extend? What do you don't know how to do? Your mouse, your auto scroll, just double click. Or if not, at the keyboard, just type ZE. Okay, you're from CE, huh?
Okay.
But can you see my video? I mean, my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, if you can see, let's say I maximize my screen now, TW. You can right click, zoom to fit. If you do that, or immediately you type ZE, 它会自动 zoom extend. This is called zoom extend. If you zoom out or pan, you right click, zoom fit. It's the same as zoom extend. All right? Huh?
Okay, I choose to fit, but
Zoom to
I
fit.
still, yeah.
Okay, up to you. As long as you're able to get the view, that's more important. Huh? No worries.
Okay, and I use 2019. Many things I cannot find.
2019?
Yeah.
If you're
Something
using
different.
2019 and 2020, don't worry. Whatever I show you is the same. 做法是一样的 ，command 也是一样的 ，so 没问题啊。2019跟2020基本上是，你看它的 display 是大同小异。可能是我的 screen 不一样，是 because I install extra thing that you guys don't have, so no need to worry. ，basic command 我今天所教的2019、2018、2021全部都是一致，是一样的，没有什么大的更动，没有。basic learning foundation 全部是一样的。所以有时我讲的那些短写的 shortcut 你们要记住 ，you guys must remember because it's very useful. Like grid line GR, level LL. Okay, so when you're taking tests, all these shortcuts will help you to quickly activate the command faster. That's why I say it's important. Okay.
Okay.
拿一本笔记本写下来，很好，useful 的。Because for those taking structure, you guys might only take Aki and I mean Revit architecture, your foundation, then subsequently is structure. That's it. You might not learn any other software already, if not wrong. Could be some others calculation software, maybe robot, Autodesk robot structure professional. This is the one that you got to install, maybe in your next lesson or this current lesson. I'm not very sure, but related to structure. Okay. For Archi DEA, they might learn, they might not. I don't know. Depends. So DEA course basically learning a lot of software. Yeah. Okay. If not, then no more questions. Let's continue. So you see that this is wrong. I'm going to change. But before change, make sure that in all my view, especially elevation, my footing is still in contact. Okay. Sometimes you insert this, your column, you'll push, stop at here. This guy will go down further if you guys forget to adjust all this foundation thing, so-called height lah or depth. So this part here must be very, very careful. Okay, so since they are correct now, everything's okay. It's just that my footing is wrong. I'm going to change the footing. So how to change? Go to my 3D, TW. Now, I'll select one of them. This is method 1. Now I'm showing you here is how you select and modify. So you can pick one component, which is your existing column. All right, right click. Select all instances under your right click, visible in view. This is one method. See that? So you want all change together. Sometimes you're not sure, you may want to do one thing at a time. Yes, I pick one first and modify. Once okay, then you update everyone. All right. The other second method of adjustment will be what? You window them, I mean, you adjust the view this way. You can use your mouse to do this. Now, how I do this? This is what I call free orbiting, which is you press the shift key and your mouse there, you depress your scroll wheel, 中间这个按钮 alright, 按下去 press it and you drag. Okay, something like this. Then you window this way. Sorry, window this way. See now? This is I'm showing you guys here how you're going to select things easily. Of course, you may click this view at your view cube. It's okay. Because one thing I don't like view cube give you standard view. Because all these are what we call isometric view. In certain ways, in model, some view we don't really always stay put at isometric. So free orbiting here is better control. Of course, again, all these are various methods of operating your software or setting up your view for selection, for viewing, and for some others. Questions? Okay. Okay, so now I want to select one of them to modify. So I pick one. I know that's wrong, so I go to edit type. Unless I have some others to switch, if not, this is wrong. So edit type. Okay, so I'm going to rename this. So I give maybe surrounding 800 or 1 meter. All right, you understand what I mean? By looking at the plan, now this is 800. You have a surrounding 500或者800 1000, so you decide. So if we let's say identical 800, 800, 800 by 800, that means this one should be okay, maybe 1008. 1008 should be good. Just to understand. Okay, like this. So here become 1008. The offset, see, like that. Might not be the correct size, but doesn't matter. But at least enable you to make changes. See this? Huh? Because we are not engineer, the size might not be correct. But right, a building this height, this one should be thicker and broader. 比较宽, broader. Huh? Okay, so it's up to you to make adjustment and change. As I said, due to the so-called file size issue later on Zoom, I don't go too much in detail on the model. In this case, later it's very heavy. When you do on your own, it's okay. But I'm teaching, it's a bit tedious for my side here. All right. So you want to change one of them to PowerCap, for instance, I will go to isolate, or if the one, you go to insert, load family. Let's say I load foundation. I set my view to large. I insert 1.4. Okay. PowerCap 4 and POW. Then WT, go to my plan. So I see my model here. Let's say I select this, control key. Here I change. Filter, column, don't select, only the footing. You swap to PowerCap 2000 by 900. You see it change. Okay, you may want to follow me, do all this simple adjustment. No need to change everyone, just a handful. It means 少许就够了 to understand that we can change or upgrade it. Okay. Any questions, guys? As I say, I'm teaching you the tools. Now, accuracy or the actual component not important. Important is how to operate your structure software. Yes, Aga. I load, not column. This is your footing. But the term here, footing means is flat. But what I'm loading here is called your POW and PowerCap. PowerCap is on top this column. POW is the extension of this rod underground. This is I'm using the insert load family. Yeah, from the structural foundation. This is when I mentioned earlier, you can load it from here. So in future, yes. See, you see something? Okay, all good. Anytime you can change. I just want you to understand. It says what? Speak out, Edgar. Easier that way. Family is not correct category because you are using the column function to load a foundation, which is wrong. Column is column. Foundation is foundation. Just now, I never select any command. I just go insert and load family. That's all. I never activate any column or foundation tools. You get what I mean? What's the difference between this? Yours says family not because if I select structure column, then you go load family, you load this one, of course, is not. But it still asks me to override, but actually it's not. How can column load foundation? There's no link, two different component. You should not allow. So if I click this, see, the same stats, same warning as yours, sorry. Revit, there's two ways to load your component. If you select via the command column, you can load family only. All right, only structure column. Column, same can. Yes. That's why you must think of way sometime you want to load family first. You cannot have any command running. Then you go insert. Insert here, you load family. You can load a mixture of families. It won't stop you because there's no command running in the background. Okay? Remember that, huh? Yeah, I think CE you all learn maybe your Archi later, but it's later, but I don't know. It depends, huh? But to what I know, Revit structure, I think the first lesson you all take is Revit Archi also before Revit structure. But again, depends on the arrangements, lah, huh? Okay. Next things I want to do before we take a break. All right, that is, I need to get the beam connected to all this because foundation, all this beam must have a link in between. So you have a beam to connect to every one of them. If not, the building can wobble, the supporting. So all the beam connection is to make the foundation strong. Yeah, also act as a support for the whole structure. All right. So for this case, once you get your footing and the column connected to first story, you no longer need the east view. What I need now is only these two. That's it. Okay, so let me stack my model together. So I have a bigger view. I can share with you guys. Yeah. Adjust it. Okay, like that. So what is our beam size here? So far, the beam also not mentioned. But it said note, beam must be created support to support. Meaning, all this connection here, you need to have a beam. But they never indicate the size, which is we got to do it on our side here. All right. So since they only here is different. RC beam to support the slab, but they never mention which is which. It could be saying this to support this lift shaft. If not, I can take this as an example. I mean, RC beam one. See, it's correct lah. Support the slab. It should be also acts as a connecting beam to beam. So 800 D, 600 width. Okay, let's do that. Huh? In your plan, in order to draw your beam at first story, you need to go to first story. So in my foundation here, I will open first story. So I can toggle the view easier for me. See that? I leave my 3D here untouched. Okay, so you can see 2019 and 2020 or 2011, it allows you to manage your view better. 2018, you can't do that. All the view are tied together. Okay, that's a unique features for 2019 onwards. So I'm at first story already. If okay, let's go to structure, beam. All right, only structure, you have this beam here. Then by default, at your properties here, go to your type selector. They have a hollow section, yes, beam. Concrete, we have 400 by 800. We have a H beam here, but this is closest. Okay, let's go to edit type. Select the family type, which should be concrete rectangular beam. And it's also telling me it's a loadable family. So I'll make full use of this, what I have. So select 400, 800, rename. So it says the B is 800, the height is 600. So here should be 800 by 600 mm. Structure is easy to play with the B and H, right? B is the width, H is this step. Archi, you don't see B and H, it's just width and length. So this one here, I want 800, H here 600. Yeah. Okay. Who's offline? If okay, select this. Remember, look at your beam. Seldom draw one at a time, because if later you connect to join, difficult. I'd rather let the system auto install. After that, those need to change, need to modify or delete, you do it one by one. If you're going to draw manually one by one, it's going to be confusing. Okay, and here, remember, here allow you to choose at which level. Just now, if I were at foundation, I can select this as first. But most of the students, sometimes you might forget. So I'd rather you go to first story. I don't need to change this, because footing, if you draw wrongly, we can adjust. Column, you add wrongly, we can adjust. Beam, add wrongly, cannot adjust. You got to delete. So structure have this type of restriction, so you got to be careful. Okay, so for this case, I just want to ensure that less mistake. So I go to first story, no change. All this automatic. Chain is when you are creating piece by piece, is continuous in certain area. But for this case, I want all my column and beam are connected as one. So grid on, select everyone, and remember to click finish. Now you look at your 3D model. See, it takes a while to process. Notice your file getting heavy and heavy. Heavier and heavier now. See, this is what how it look like. TW, the view. Yeah. All good. Everyone?
Teacher,
Mm.
my being and my column is not connect each other. It's not like yours.
You want to share your screen? Let me see.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
I see is like that.
OK， 你的高度，去你的 elevation 看 ，elevation。
这里吗？
你看，就是我刚才所担心的这一幕，你看到吗？
I'm
Your
falling.
column you add, you never select height or depth. That's why.
哦，
你看到 base level 跟 top level 是一样的。Then the base offset. Okay. Now you select every column. Okay. Okay. 你的 base level 是 foundation 是对，你的 top level 换成 first story. No, the properties are
level 哦
first story. Then base offset 是0，
，Yeah，
你还没有改就 keep finish。base offset 你现在是减2500，应该是0。那不用再哦 ，OK。这个是0
然后
，OK， 应该是 OK 的。你去你的 elevation 看。This is why I mentioned elevation is important。去 elevation 看先。
，Yeah，
你看 everything OK 了哦，看到吗
OK，Thank you, teacher。
哎 ，no problem。Okay, so if you are done, let's take a break. Be back by 20 minutes. 11:35, I will continue. Is it okay? Let's take a short break.